we today are talking about Puranas, and we will give a very brief overview about what are the kind of Puranas and what were the major characteristics. So it will be a very sketchy video, in order to know that what were the major Puranas and what were their characters within 10 to 15 minutes. So this is just like a crash course. So let's start. So talking about the first slide, the thing is that we are talking about Purana. So this is the time of Gupta period, because Gupta kings, they were heavily patronizing the Sanskrit literature, and there were not only Purana, Dharma Shastra and this kind of religious literature, but also the secular literature that was coming up during this time, like the works on astronomy, mathematics during the Gupta period. So it has been called that the Gupta period is like it's like a golden age of Sanskrit literature. But what is a major myth, or what is a major misconception is that there are many people who think that during Gupta period there is a revival of this Sanskrit literature. So this is a common misconception, because there was that, as my first point is saying, that Sanskrit literature never saw an eclipse, because there was an uninterrupted Kavya literature. The flow of Kavya literature is very important, like from Allahabad pillar inscription of Samudragupta and till the time when we are discovering Mandasur inscription of Vatsavuti. So this actually tells us that how there was a continuous flow of Kavya literature, Sanskrit Kavya literature. So it is a major misconception to think that during the Gupta period Sanskrit literature was revived and before that it saw an eclipse. It is not. There was an uninterrupted production. So that is the first thing that we have to remember when talking about this Sanskrit literature, among which Purana is a major category. So Purana means, the third point is saying, it literally means old narratives. And who are writing this Puranas? It is the Sutas or the birds. The term birds, we also use that in present context. But there is also a legendary explanation. According to legend, Lomaharshana and his son Ugrasravas, they are actually appearing as narrators. It has been said that they actually got these Puranic information from God, from Vyas, and they are narrating it. So according to legend, Lomaharshana and son Ugrasravas appear as narrator, but these actually, the Purana was actually not written in 1 year, 2 year. Obviously it was written within a very large part of time. So Puranas later got in the hand of local priests, and then it was called, it had addition, re-addition and local explanation. So the legendary explanation is there, that it was written by Lomaharshana and Ugrasravas, but also it got in the hand of local priest gradually, and then it got interpreted further. And one of the interesting fact about Puranas is that there is always a local or regional identity associated with Purana. Like Brahma Purana, it always talks about it. A large portion of it discusses the state Orissa, and Padma Purana is related to Pushkar, and Agni with Gaya, and Varaha Purana with Mathura, and Kurma Purana with Benares. So there is this local identities, which is very important, because if you are asked that what is the main region that has been discussed in Kurma Purana, you need to mention that it is Benares. Or if one asks that in a competitive exam, that what is the Brahma Purana based on, what is the location, what is the region that is talking about, you need to tell that it's Orissa. So this is important. And also Puranas are basically popular literature of Hinduism, because if we talk about Veda, it was written, it was obviously a kind of it was not written, it was written a lot time later, but unlike Veda, Puranas is a very popular literature of Hinduism, and as it was popular, it was meant to disseminated within the common people. So it was initially written in Prakrit language. It has been said or kind of established by many historians that because it had a popular character, it had a popular appeal, So it was written in Prakrit language, but later it got translated into Sanskrit because there was a need to preserve it also, because the writing language is not Prakrit, it is always Sanskrit. So initially it was written in Prakrit language to have a popular appeal so that common people would understand it. But when there was an urge that it has to be preserved for later generation, so in case of preservation there was Sanskrit. So first Prakrit, then Sanskrit. So this was a brief introduction of the Puranas. In order to know the details of the specific Puranas, please see the next video.